Um, no, you heard my background as I was in those NFT magic days where the communities were just hopping, you had friends. And so, TextCoin really reminded me of an old school NFT project and doing all the things that you wish you could have done back then. Like there was always this promise of this amazing community, and they were going to do real life events, and the Bored Ape Yacht Club actually had huge parties and stuff like that, and they had you know all these things that these NFT projects, some of them got to do and some of them just promised. But that's kind of like what sticks out with me was TEXITcoin. And yes, it's a cryptocurrency. What it is, it's a layer one proof of work coin that's mined exclusively in Texas. So Bobby Gray, which is the founder and leader, decided, I want to make a splash here in the crypto community because he had done alternative currencies with gold and silver. He even testified in front of Congress way back in the day. And when he realized that, he had that aha moment where digital was the future and not going backwards into gold and silver, he really started looking into what can I do? How can I make honest money? Because his passion is to have honest money that, like, Bitcoin nowadays is mined by China and a lot of big BlackRock holds it. It's like, so it kind of got away from its original game, its original, decentralized, coins for the people kind of, goal, and it became, digital gold, which is fine. It's people made a lot of money on it, but it's gotten away from its original idea of crypto in general. And so he decided that in order to, get noticed, he wanted to make his own coin. This isn't like a meme coin or something, but he actually wanted to build a mine and put it all around Texas. So it's decentralized in the fact that it's different containers all around Texas, but it's still kind of, centralized within Texas. And of course, he's the leader, so it's kind of a little bit of a hybrid method. It's a permission-based network, so you can't just get on and mine yourself. And so he created basically a crowdsourcing project to fund his vision. Didn't take venture capitalist money or any of the big dogs' money. He wanted to make it with normal people. And in doing that, you have to build a community. And just sharing it with others and bringing them into the community to have fun, to learn about crypto. That's what really sparked me. It was, yes, I have these, dollar signs in my eyes that someday it's going to make a lot of money. But we're in the building phase right now, and the blockchain's about 28% where they want it to be. And this crowdsourcing project is the biggest, I think, crypto raise ever, or top five. They've raised 140 million already, and the money that has been raised has been to build the mine, to build those fancy computers, to promote the coin, which is a huge chunk of it. And I know I've been on Solana with meme coins and things, and they try to get coins going, but they have no money to market, no money to promote, no money to develop it. It's always, hey guys, hold on to your coins and, buy more so that we can have some money. In the old NFT days, you minted an NFT and they had millions of dollars, and then they promised they were going to do all this development work, and they never did. So this crowdfunding kind of project really caught my eye on just what their vision was and what he wants to do. And it's every time I learned a little bit more, I just got more and more impressed by it. I was afraid to share it at first because it's like, oh, you're right, it might be a rug. I thought it was a calculated risk in order to get in. And what you do is when you contribute to the crowdsourcing model that they have, you become a miner and you buy a seat, a mining license or a mining seat as part of the mining pool, and you get a daily reward of TXC, which is their coin. And so every day, like my wallet, it dings with TXC, getting dropped in it, and so there's a little bit of a passive income. The coin price isn't where we want it to be right now, but we have plans to actually add utility and drive it higher. But another thing that they did is they kind of wrapped the crowdsourcing in an affiliate kind of model where you can actually earn more mining power as you share. So if you share it with 3 people, you get a bonus seat, so to speak. And it's a way for, normal people that don't have tens of thousands of dollars to get in this, get in a project and quickly make either their money back or, increase that daily reward as time goes on. And then, when the coin is worth more, they'll have stacked a ton of coins. And they also have, you get paid USDC for sharing it. New site coming soon. Yes, the developers are hard at work. That's the promise here in the last couple of days, is that it's going to be done soon. There's actually a few sites out there. The Mine TXC is actually their mining site where you can sign up to be a miner. And so minetxc.com, and it kind of shows you what the blockchain analytics are and how many miners and all this stuff. But I think the funnest thing is I actually met the founder last weekend. They did a track day at the G2 Motorsports track up in Anna, Texas, and all the big dogs were there. The founder was there, and I got to shake his hand and get a picture and talk to him for a second. And his passion. He has spent so much time on this project just when he didn't have to. It's really hard to think that has any kind of nefarious, or rug pull kind of vibes at all. I mean, there's always the risk that it's crypto and his plan doesn't work out. But I think I've put to bed, at least for me, that it's not going to be some rug pull. I mean, you can see here how they use their funds, and how there's 58,000 miners right now or so, and a lot of it is promoting the coin, and then paying back people that help share and get this mine sold out. And it's just fun. Like, the community,
where is the proof of mine located?
The mining containers are in McKinney, Victoria, Texas, Mansfield. I can't remember. There's containers going all around Texas.
It's a distributed network throughout Texas from that.
Yes, and I don't know if you're familiar with fog hashing containers. They basically come loaded with, I forget how many machines are in it, and they have a liquid cooled machines. They just set up these big containers and hook them to the network, and they get mining. And they want to get to 100 gigahash mine, I think, which means about 1 million seats, so to speak. And then they cut it off and they say no more TEXITcoin miners. And so that TEXITcoin reward won't change for everybody once the last miner gets put in. And it's going to be mined for, of course, there's halvings in there, but for 100 years or whatever. But just like Bitcoin, I think it's a Litecoin clone. That's how they started out, but they've changed some of the code, and so the transaction fees are low. But the thing that excites me most about right now is they're not just about coin price, building the mine. They actually have real world utility. We already have our first project using the blockchain. McKinney is holding a fair and festival June 6th. And they have our first layer 2 project is called Downtown Digital Dollars. And so they will use Downtown Digital Dollars for that festival and fair, just like tickets you would buy. But people are going to be using crypto and not even knowing it, because it's going to be running on the TEXITcoin blockchain. And so every person that transacts is going to need a little bit of TXC. So you multiply that, by hundreds of fairs and festivals around the area, then, scale it up. We're talking a $3 trillion industry or something like that, that if they even get 1% of it, it's going to be a ton of use of the blockchain and buying pressure on that TXC. And everybody's really excited about that, because they are already doing things that most projects promise, and then they start, but they've already been doing this, and it's the weirdest thing, because I'm used to crypto projects hyping everything up and hyping, instead of saying, oh, we did this thing. and it's ready now. And we did all the development already, and it's ready to go. We're testing out, beta testing right now. Our first real use of it is June 6th this year. I mean, they're moving, and it's really impressive to see and refreshing to see them not hyping it up, because they believe they have a business solution, a unique business solution that they don't want to tip their hats on, but they just have to give us enough to know that it's going to be used in the TEXITcoin blockchain. And they are already signed on hundreds of fairs and festivals in the future, as long as they can prove the concept right here in McKinney. And that's pretty exciting to me,
Awesome. Asherelle, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, you kind of answered the questions I was gonna ask. Like, the one was about the use cases and like and I think with blockchain, because there's so many, I guess there's maybe so many things that people try to do with blockchain, but I think at the main aspect is just allowing commerce for people, like you were talking about with like the state fairs. But with the roadmap, what are some of the other things that you see kind of besides along with the fairs, like along with like the state with the different fairs in different towns, like on the roadmap for, I guess, businesses to use? It's more so like proving this first concept and just going and trying with other similar events, or what are some of the other things that you see them utilizing the blockchain?
What they call downtown digital dollars is going to be their fairs and festivals.
Okay.
Kind of like company, and it's a separate entity that they're going to use, but it's going to use the blockchain. So they're already signing up vendors. They have McKinney's going to be the testing bed for it, and they've already lined up a lot of people that want to use it, because it saves money for the vendors, it saves money for the town, it keeps money in the town. So as a solution for a digital currency for a community, it wins on all the basis. And so all they have to do is show this and prove it to them that it works, and that people are gonna have an ease of use, with onboarding and offboarding. And I know they've already lined up some vendors in McKinney to accept this downtown digital dollar outside of the fairs and festivals. So when the fair is over, you have, you leave a fair and you have like 5 tickets left. What do? You hand them to somebody walking in, or you throw them away because they're not useful anymore. But with this, you'll have like, I have $10 left of this digital dollar, which is going to be, backed 1-to-1 with whatever, dollars people bought it with. You want to go get an ice cream down at the ice cream shop. I have $10, I'll go spend it there. And so they stay in McKinney. And then that vendor accepts this downtown digital dollar, just like they would accept Apple Pay or anything else. It's that easy. And then the owner of the building has decided to accept downtown digital dollar to pay rent. And that's already set up. So you've got big supporters in McKinney that are willing to provide a whole ecosystem for this coin already. And that's just one city in Texas. So, and then of course it can expand as far as it wants. I know we're already, this is, I guess, what we consider phase 1 was building the mine, and we're in the middle of that right now. And they've already released phase 2, which is this, one of the first projects for phase 2 is this downtown digital dollar. And then they've already started talking about phase 3, which is once we have proof of concept for this local area in Texas, I think I don't know exactly what's going on because they haven't announced it yet, that there will be other localities in other areas around the world that could kind of like clone us, so to speak, and do kind of similar thing for their local community. So what TEXITcoin is creating is more local community currency focused, instead of like going for the worldwide domination.
Yeah.
Well, you do that enough times and you really start to like just grassroots grow across the country and then the world. So I mean,
I'd be interested to see that, because I think, at its core, what gets lost sometimes with, I guess, in the space is, these are basically public ledgers that allow, you know, a certain element of trust and truth. So at its, you know, at its core, you know, that's what it's meant to be used for, you know, for not meant, but it's like it can have its most impact to local communities. And watching different people who I've been following over the years try to test projects to do stuff locally, it definitely is something that takes a lot of effort and jumping through hoops and working with like local vendors to be able to provide them like an efficient way to do commerce that they wouldn't have before. So that I didn't know that. I didn't read that part when I was kind of skimming through. So that part I think is interesting. I don't know if you're going to say anything, Jams, to kind of piggyback on.
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions. Um, of course, all projects have their diehard believers, and then the naysayers. And so everyone, no matter if it's Bitcoin or Chainlink, or if in this instance it's Texit, has an opinion. So before we get to those, I want to actually just talk about some of the logistics, some of the facts surrounding TexitCoin. Where can the crypto rascals, if they were interested in purchasing TexitCoin, acquire? Is it available on centralized exchanges? Is it available on decentralized exchanges?
Yes.
Where's the most frequented or the best place to obtain TexitCoin?
Yeah, well, the original exchange, DeFi exchange we were on was DexTrade. You can go on Coinbase, or not Coinbase, we're not on Coinbase yet. CoinMarketCap, and it lists all the exchanges. There's also a wrapped version if you want to do Uniswap. I think I use Phoenix US. That's one of our big ones. That's a centralized exchange, a smaller one.
PNX. Got you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few of them for sure. It's definitely not, a big hang up that a lot of people say, oh, it's not on Coinbase, I don't even look at it. That requires a lot, and you can be a meme coin and bump your, your market cap to $1 billion and get on there. But, TexitCoin is there was nothing pre-mined, and so we're still mining out, and we got a long trying to do. I think DexTrade is a little bit hard for the uninitiated with DeFi, because it's a little hard. I know. I think MEX or Meek, that's not a US thing. Like, some of these things aren't US based, so they're hard to get to if you're here in the US. But Phoenix is definitely one of our good US ones. So,
got you. So I did pull up CoinMarketCap, and I don't know how valid some of these numbers are, because it says like holders are 337, and I just find that really hard to believe that there are only 337 holders.
Yeah, there's definitely 58,000, because that's how many miners have, and every day they get coins, so they can't, even if they sold it every day right away, they would still be listed as a holder.
That number doesn't make sense. And then this other number that doesn't really make sense to me either, is that the top 10% hold 89% of the coins. To me, that's like worse than any meme coin or rug I've ever seen in history. That's X 2.0. If we talking 90% of, if you scroll down, Asherel.
What that is the original mining wallet that got it before anybody else has more in it than anything else. So
that's the origin address wallet.
So the first concept, however many weeks, all the TexitCoin was going there. And I know that our founder, Bobby, has been very transparent on how much he has in his cold wallet. He has like 2 million coins in his cold wallet, I think, or something like that. I don't know if that's on there.
No, I mean the
But,
top valid is 229,000.
okay.
So just shy of 50% of the supply, which today is worth just under 200K.
And that percentage continues to drop as the mine produces more coins, because as the mining output is spread out between more and more people, that percentage is actually slowly creeping down.
Oh wait, so yeah, I can see. I get what you're saying, because we're in an inflationary period right now. So, Ashra, if you look on the left hand side, our self-reported circulating supply is right at 59 million TXC, of a total supply of 64 and a half. But that number right next to it, the max supply, is where we're inflating to. So technically, we are in a kind of hyperinflationary period, to where our fully diluted market cap hasn't technically been realized yet.
Right.
As yes, that 46% top wallet will ultimately be a lower percentage over time as the supply continues to inflate towards that target max supply. And there will have to be some need for a buy and burn mechanism function, as supply continues to inflate, to create some sort of buy pressure or positive price appreciation.
And that's where the downtown digital dollar comes into play, because you have to have TXC to transact the downtown digital dollar. So every time you buy the downtown digital dollar, like for a fair or festival, you have to buy TXC, and a lot of these people, it just gets locked in the wallet. So it's almost like a burn, because it's not going to be.
It's taken out of circulating supply.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the more downtown digital dollars people buy for more fairs, you'll see more buy pressure on it. At least that's the theory. That's the goal.
Now, sorry, I have one more question. Well, one more topic, one more question. Topic is price. Price is huge. That's what everyone mostly cares about at the end of the day. And when the price is down 98%, from all-time high, it's hard to get new buyers, and it's hard to get rid of the scam accusations. If they would have bought, a year ago, they would be and sold, at $6, they would be thousands of X into profit.
And that's what a lot of people did. I know that there have been, examples of people that bought houses when it hit that $6 mark and they cashed out. And so a lot of the early people saw that as a chance to take some profit, and they did. And that's kind of when TEXITcoin started being traded more openly as a market instead of just a chart, because there was no volume before then, right? It was just a gradual increase in price, because there wasn't a lot of people trading, and they could manipulate the chart, and then just buy and just keep spend $1 million and just buy it and buy it and buy it, and here and there, and now it's more driven by the market. It came tumbling down a little bit. And also, I think, just like with any project, the fear and uncertainty and doubt, people that came up and said, this isn't going anywhere, this was all a scam, and it's what's the big deal about building a mine and all these things, and it scared a lot of people, and that's why we came tumbling down, on top of it being a kind of a downward crypto in general season here the last couple of months. So we're hoping that just with this, especially with the utility, actually going and doing the utility, not just promising it, is going to keep people excited again and start getting that price back up.
Gotcha. Sorry. Once I start doing a deep dive into the coin, I start noticing things, and so I just noticed this wallet, and I was like, "Hey, who's this wallet that's out here selling pretty frequently?" And I just wanted to check their balance and holdings, but that's not the point. The actual point here is that um, liquidity is something else that I noticed. Um, it's not a honeypot. It's verified. It's not a rug pull. It's not a fake token. Um, has very low volume on decentralized exchange, medium volume on centralized exchange. But from a liquidity standpoint, there's about $125,000 of liquidity on decentralized exchanges. Is that a concern for you at all?
Well, I'm not quite sure how that all works because, you know, they definitely are putting liquidity into the various places. They have, um, I'm not sure how they do it, but there's a certain percentage each week that they put toward liquidity. And they do have liquidity reserves. They call them liquidity reserves, but I'm not quite sure exactly what they're going to do with them. But they have, $1 million in Bitcoin, $1 million in Ethereum, some USDC sitting on the side, ready to inject if they really needed to. I really don't know how that works in their plan for that. I mean, that's beyond my expertise.
I think that's something to be a metric that we sort of look at when we're looking at total value lock, is understanding how much liquidity is available on the centralized exchanges for trading, and how say if you had $1 million in TEXITcoin today, how much could you go on Uniswap and get out today? Well, there's 145,000 total, and so if 10 of you wanted to sell 10,000, then that would add significant sell pressure and cause a cascading of price. So it's just a question to ensure that we're all like aware of all of the data points. Not saying one's good, one's bad.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing about being, and this is like a startup. It's there's going to be some risks associated with it that if you're not comfortable with, you don't do it. If you get the vision of the people and you think that they're going to go the direction that they say they're going to go, so far they've done everything that they said they're going to do, and they've done it consistently. And so it's like, okay, I'm willing to take that risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to have people, I guess, continuing to build and move forward to get things done. I think it's I have a little bit of a different opinion on the entire Bitcoin space than a lot of people. I think the closer to zero the network is, the price is, the better it probably is for people who actually want to grow it. That's from like a commerce standpoint. So I mean, if you have to have it in your wallet to transact, I think it's just that friction between people who are buying and wanting the price to go up, and then people who are maybe actually utilizing the network for its intended purpose as a ledger, open ledger to do commerce. So I think an interesting point, just like looking at some of the stuff that Jams looked at, and interesting for me to know, because I had heard about this coin, I think a couple of years ago, actually being in like a Telegram group from like people who are involved in the Hex. It was like Texans for Hex or whatever, and they'd mentioned this, so I hadn't really kept up with it since I heard about it. So it's some of the things like I'd first read didn't were calling out the project for being a little bit sketchy, not delivering on some things in the miners and stuff like that. But from listening to you, it sounds like they've at least been delivering on their plan and roadmap. And there are things coming down as far as what they are trying to do locally. And the other aspect too is I do like that it's based off of like a proof of work um, blockchain as well, which I think adds a little bit more validity than it would, to, in my opinion, if it were proof of stake. There are people would say, oh, it's semantics in comparison of the two types of blockchains, but I do think with the proof of like to its name, you do have to put some effort out in there for to validate the network, burn some energy. So that aspect too, I think between the proof of work and the proof of stake blockchains, as like we kind of move into this new cycle, because now I think it's getting where the industry is, the grown-ups are here, the government's here, the banks are here. So I think that's another thing I kind of lost sight of in the past few years, just seeing different proof of work blockchains that are out there that are doing things in local communities. So I definitely think that's something to follow, and I'll be checking this out as far as the year goes on to see kind of how they're delivering on some of those things, and see if McKinney is a success and they're able to extrapolate that out to other towns or cities.
Agree. I really appreciate you coming on and introducing us to the downtown digital dollar as a addendum to the TEXITcoin, as I hadn't heard of that, and I do think that's a viable use case to help defend price, and also to gain some additional marketing as well. As ultimately many of these coins depend on familiarity, virality, word of mouth, and then confidence that price is going to appreciate based on gut feeling at the end of the day. So I really, really thank you, TJ, for coming on. Didn't want to keep you this long,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I appreciate you having some patience with us early on as we talk crypto, we talk markets, we talk um, the analytics, and then we deep dive into a specific project that our audience likely isn't aware of, that they now can go research, learn more about, explore. And if you look at the last year, TexitCoin is up 408%. If you look at overall, it is up 1,216%. So that's a 12x if you bought it day one. That's a 4x if you bought it a year ago. So when people call scam, as they used to say on Hex, you just bought it at the wrong time.
yeah. And I don't know if I can. I made a little website that I definitely don't pull it up, but like I thought, what can be a way, like if anybody's watching this and they want to actually talk to me, schedule like a little quick powwow or discovery call. I made minewithtj.com.
Awesome. We can drop it into the chat for
Yeah.
our
No
audience.
judgment on the website. I literally stood it up in a day and threw a calendar invite on there if anybody wants to talk about it more and learn about it, because the affiliate nature of the project, I love to get credit for it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And that's actually really, really dope. Asherelle, if you don't mind, I mean, you can pull it up and we'll show the video, and then we'll put it into the comment section.
Yeah, and I'll drop it in the description when I go back and edit it. So
description, that way it'll be there moving forward.
Cool. It's been fun.
Yeah, we'll show this video and then we'll outro it. And thank you, bro. This was a great chat.
yeah, it was good meeting you, man.
It was nice to learn about TexitCoin, but it was great to have another long-term crypto person here on the conversation with us, bringing the perspectives of someone who came to the crypto space through NFTs, but now has expanded into mining other layer one blockchain. So without further ado, man.
You don't mind? You don't mind if we show the video? Or
Oh man, it's yeah. Go ahead.
okay,
I mean,
no, we don't have to.
cheesy.
You don't want to, but just so people can see, it's www.minewithtj.com. We don't mind. We'll give you some.
Mining. Hi, this is ThomasJ, and we are mining TEXITcoin. I've been in crypto for about 5 or 6 years, and TEXITcoin really hit on my key points. It has a fantastic community and has tons of potential. So what is TEXITcoin? TEXITcoin is a layer 1 proof of work coin that's mined exclusively in Texas. It's truly a made in America blockchain. It's the brainchild of co-founder and fearless leader Bobby Gray. He's an expert in alternative currencies, even testified in Congress back in the early 2000s. So what did he do? He decided to step into the future to make honest money right here in Texas.
That's it.
There you have it.
Awesome. I love it, man. That's a great pitch for us to wrap with. Thank you for coming to introduce the Crypto Rascals to TEXITcoin. I'm excited to see what happens in the coming months and years. We wish you the best, Thomas, or TJ, as you're more affectionately known, and excited to see what happens. Asherell, as always, peace be, bro. Nothing but love for you. Peace to all the Crypto Rascals out there.
Yeah, appreciate you, James.